10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
9 years old, saying goodnight, when her flannels just ain't fitting quite right, and I called a sadness in your eyes.
It was the most beautiful, I'm so sorry, the most beautiful 3 months of my life. But to your point, it was more than I anticipated, in every way good and challenging.
Without a doubt, the worst mothers in the Bible failed their children terribly. In many cases, their failures also influenced their children to become morally corrupt individuals.
And it's hard for me to be here today. I'm happy, but my heart's pulled in a million different directions, and I'll get better. I won't cry tomorrow, I promise.
No,
we can find poor examples of mothers in the Bible in both the Old and the New Testaments, from the simplest to the most sinister cases. Even pious individuals like Rebecca could set bad examples as mothers.
In the trouble I found, the trouble I made, the hearts I stole and my heartbreak.
When I was reading your story yesterday, and I want to ask you this question, just to get a real human emotion from you. I'm a believer myself. I talk to God multiple times a day. But when somebody wrongs me, I always say, you know, I'm trying real hard to be Christian right now. Is it hard for you to be loving and forgiving in a time like this when you've been violated in such a way?
Rebecca was a God-fearing woman, but she made a grave mistake by showing favoritism to one of her sons. This favoritism divided her household for a long time, to the extent that one son desired to kill the other. Consequently, Rebecca had to deal with the suffering of watching her favorite son, Jacob, leave home to avoid being killed by his brother, Esau. Rebecca never saw him again.
It's good to be back.
Good to have you back. Markie, you were gone.
Yeah.
I do want to let you know that we put a little piece of things together there. I want to talk about the trip. I want to talk about what it meant for you there, because you had time to spend time with the baby. And you posted something yesterday, I think, that everyone at home can appreciate. You thought before having the baby, oh, it's just a vacation. Yeah. I'm just sitting back. I can eat bonbons all day. And you talked about all your girlfriends who became moms and all the women that you've known in your life. If you could just stop by for 5 minutes and hold the baby for them while they take a hot shower.
Yeah.
Like...
Another bad example of a mother recorded in the Bible, much worse than Rebecca, is the example of Herodias. Herodias, a woman who descended from King Herod, left her husband to have a relationship with her brother-in-law, Herod Antipas. When this immoral relationship was denounced by the prophet John the Baptist, as recorded in the Bible, Herodias sought to destroy him at any cost. Herodias satisfied her feelings of revenge by manipulating her own daughter. She orchestrated a situation where her daughter danced seductively for Herod Antipas, and in return secured a promise from him that the head of the prophet John the Baptist would be delivered to her on a platter that very night. Given such a horrifying story, you might wonder if things could possibly get any worse.
It was the most beautiful, I'm so sorry, the most beautiful 3 months of my life. But to your point, it was more than I anticipated, in every way good and challenging. And she's a joy. My husband just sent me a video of her watching me this morning.
According to the biblical text in the first book of Kings, chapter 3, 2 prostitute women were living together and both gave birth around the same time, with a mere 3 days apart. One night, one of these women accidentally smothered her own child by laying on him. However, what makes this woman one of the worst mothers in the Bible was her subsequent actions. Instead of mourning her lost child, this woman rose stealthily during the night, took her housemate's child as her own, and replaced him with the body of her deceased son. In essence, she simply swapped her child as if he were a broken, worthless object. In the morning, when the other mother rose to breastfeed her child, she found the boy dead. Naturally, she realized that the dead child was not her own, but that of the woman she shared a home with. The ensuing dispute over the identity of the living child's true mother reached King Solomon. Standing before the king, both women claimed the boy as their own. In his wisdom, Solomon proposed to cut the living child in half with a sword, so each woman could have a piece. Faced with this seemingly absurd proposal, The true mother quickly renounced her claim to the child, as she preferred to see him alive with the other woman rather than dead. In contrast, the false mother, in her utter selfishness, agreed to the division of the child as she wanted the true mother to also lose her son. Upon seeing the reactions of the two women, Solomon made his decision and returned the child to his true mother. It's unknown what became of the false mother. We don't know whether she later regretted her actions or if she had any more children. All we know is that, through an unfortunate turn of events, she did not have the opportunity to raise her own child. Her behavior, however, makes us question what kind of mother she would have been to that boy.
Day starts a new chapter, and somebody else will take care of her for most of her days, and that's an adjustment too. And day starts a new chapter, and
somebody else will take care of her for most of her days, and that's an adjustment too. And
but she's watching, and I love you, my sweet girl.
Don't worry, mama, I won't wipe it off. I'll let it sink in.
People can do the most disturbing things when they stray from the Lord, even against those they should love and protect.
Thank you.
I do not fear what people think, especially about what the Bible says.